Hello, welcome back to the Healing Table. I'm Grace.
Hello and welcome back to the Healing Table. I'm Julia.
So today we're going to be responding back to a comment that was left on our page, and this comment is a topic that I feel like we touched on, but maybe we didn't explain it enough or went into depth about it enough. But Dr. Noella Moga under our comments asked if we could talk about how a mother can guide a daughter in choosing a husband and in evaluating a proposal. So this is really a question for my mom, but as her daughter, I'm gonna chime in at another type of perspective. But what do you think?
So, thank you, Noella, for that kind of comments. Basically, what the mother wants for her, she wants her daughter to choose the right person, that he will love the family, and his family is respecting the girl, and the girl parents, they will respect the boy. They have to come from respectful family. Because why we're saying this? Because we do not want our daughters to go to the marriage and be suffering in there. As you guys know that South Sudanese marriages, most of them, I'm not gonna say 80, but maybe 75%, is not based in love that much, if I can say that. Sometime back home, your father know my father, and they were like, oh, we've been friends for a long time, therefore her daughter's gonna marry that boy, or that boy is gonna marry her daughter. That's the way it's done back home. So what I can advise my daughter always, to follow her heart first, to choose she is comfortable living with, and even in argument, how they're gonna put that argument off, and they can live with each other, and that how they can agree to some stuff and not to agree, but they're gonna come together and solve the problem. And both of them, they have to be financial free, so that anybody have a responsibility to bring everything in the table, so this family is gonna be doing good. In dowry method, every culture in South Sudan, Bari have the different way to take the dowry. Any tribe, they have a different way, but in the end of the day, it come to one conclusion: you're gonna marry from that family, therefore you have to pay the dowry and you have to do the needful. So we have a dowry, we have a mom you have to take care of, we have the auntie to take care of, you have the uncle to take care of. I know that will be like, if you calculate that in diaspora, it's a lot. But then our culture is very rich, because those people that cannot just bring something from here and just put it for you. They're gonna go back there, they're gonna count how many cow, how many goat, how many all that. So if you put them together in our money here, it's nothing, basically. So let me say why our girls, they go and marry who they wanna marry, especially here, because our son, most of our son, they're going wrong way. And even if you're a mom, you're not gonna accept your daughter to go with South Sudanese men because it's from your country, because of the culture. You have to make your daughter to be happy, whatever she is going, or your son, whatever that happiness that she's looking for, she find it, let her be. That's my advice.
What if the daughter doesn't really necessarily want to do the traditional route of the marriage?
Well, basically, the dowry is appreciation to that family. Period. There is nothing else. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You don't want to appreciate your dad and your mom and your grandpa and your grandma, because every hope in any family that the girl is going to be married in the good way, so that they will be happy. That guy asked our daughter and pay her dowry, pay something in her head. Like we said before, in our culture, if you don't want to pay the dowry, the children that you're gonna have is gonna be belong to my family. Why? Because the men did not pay the dowry.
That doesn't make sense though.
Well, and they do a lot of stuff. They will go to the wedding, they will do that, but they appreciate the family in different way. In Islam, it's called mahar. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter where you go, the appreciation of somebody brought you up is there in everywhere you go in the world, not just the South Sudanese, everywhere. So the mahar the dowry, all is the same thing.
I can agree, but I also can disagree just because I feel like the American version, it's like their appreciation is shown in a different way, but it's not like through money. I feel like maybe the dowry and people who are Muslim, their appreciation is shown through money.
No, it doesn't show through money. In Islam, there is something is called shayla. What does the shayla mean? Like that man is going to bring for you gold, is going to bring for you a lot of gift that it will worth a long time. That means if anything happened between you and him in any time, you already have something that you can live on. That's why they do the shayla thing. The shayla is included a lot of gift, and like in our wedding we do gift, but it's not like Arab. It's not like Nigerian when you throw the money everywhere. The money is just a sample. It's not like you really have to have a money, but that money that they give it to you is calculated to according to how many cow that your husband have to give to marry you, or how many goat that he's supposed to pay. So because we don't have that here, it's not really serious about money.
So it's not really money, it's just like, I guess, crops in a way.
It's not about money at all. So here, because we don't have those kind of stuff, because we're here in diaspora, how you gonna get, where you gonna put the cow? Where you gonna put the goat? All that kind of stuff. It's just that kind of sample. But I will advise anybody that want to get married, please learn about the person, learn about the other family, know who they are, the clan, where they come from, so that you don't have to marry your brother or your sister. You gotta ask the background, what the family like, what they don't like. You gotta ask a lot of questions so that when you go to that family, you have to be comfortable with everything that the other person tell you.
So I would say how would a daughter navigate that if their parents don't believe in dating?
We believe in dating, but our dating is kind of different than American dating. Our dating back home, you go in open place, you guys can talk and chat and all this kind of stuff and learn about each other and asking each other questions. What's the family about it and all that stuff. Dating here, some kids they like to live with the man so that they can know each other. In our culture, it was wrong because longer you let that person touch you or be with you, he can come in anytime and say he do not want to go with the married. So who is the loser? The girl is the one who's gonna be hurt. She's gonna be the loser. And guess what? If there is a child in the middle in this relationship of dating, who's gonna struggle with that child until that child is 18? It's gonna be the mom still. And if you don't have a support system, guess what? If you are at school, you gotta drop your school, you gotta go to work, you gotta do that if you don't have family that support you. So that's the reason why dating is kind of different than dating in Africa, and in our culture is different than dating here in America. In Africa, there is no girl is gonna go stay with the man in the house. She can go and visit, she can go and cook, she can go and clean, so the family will know that they were gonna marry a right person for the son. She can show that she can do this and she can do that, but there is no account. You're gonna be sleeping in that house. You're gonna live over there with that guy. It's not gonna happen.
So the dating is different from, I guess, here and in Africa in a way. But I would say that the only thing is that I agree with a lot of what you said, but at the same time, I feel like it's really different because I lived with my boyfriend for like a year and a half, and during that time I really learned about if I could live with him more years after. Now I live here with my mom, but now I know that after that year, is he gonna help me clean, or is he gonna help me in the kitchen, or does he do certain things like in that way? And I feel like I learned a lot, and I feel like now I know for the future I'm not scared to live with him.
Yes, can be good because we're here. And why it happening this way here? Because we don't know everybody here. We just get to this country and we don't know who is who. But back home, when they say Kiden is who daughter, it's Wani daughter, they will know exactly who Wani is in our culture over there. They will know what kind of family it is, if they're good family or not. But here, in this country here, you really have to know somebody, because you can marry somebody that can destroy you, not just you, they can destroy your family too. Because why? Because you don't know him very well, because you did not stay with him that long to know what is upside down. So I guess that's a different dating here. Is different than in Africa, because in Africa we know everybody. Here in America, totally different.
I would say sometimes some people like to put up a front in a way with everybody or be in public and
Yeah.
see, try to be like they're this
Nice
good
and
person, have this charisma, and so also in an environment where there's nobody else, nobody talking in the area. How's that person treating you? Are they still treating you good? Your parents are not scared. They're not trying to isolate you. Things of that nature. I feel like that's a whole different thing that I feel like something that you can experience if you haven't experienced actually being with that person for a period amount of time. You can be nice for 3 days.
Yeah, you can't fake it for a year.
Exactly. You can't really
You
fake
cannot
it.
fake it.
So I feel like it is a different side of it. But I do agree too about the whole, if you get pregnant and then the whole relationship doesn't work out, it's a whole spiral of things that you have to worry about more that can happen. So it's a risk in a way, kind of both ways. But
and then also, when you are dating, if somebody just rushing to sleep with you, basically, this is not the person love you.
and I feel like sometimes some girls probably don't know. They don't know whether or not, oh, does this person really love me, or if they're love bombing me, like just trying to tell me all this stuff just to get something out of. Sometimes some people can manipulate people into thinking they're good people, or they actually have your best interest in heart, and they want to marry you so quickly and all of this, but they have their own agenda, or they have their own idea of what would happen, or it's really just, I don't know, it's just really interesting. But there are some cases where they do get married early on and it works out for the rest of their lives, but it is really hard to distinguish that, I feel like, in a short amount of time.
And I was just telling all my girls out there, don't rush to the marriage very quickly. Take your time, learn about whoever you're going to marry to, and learn about their family. Because the family can come and destroy your marriage. And then maybe they can, if that's a good man, and then the family just getting in and talking in the daughter's ears, they can destroy everything. As you guys see in Louisiana, this guy, he shot 7, this is his own kid, the one of them is one of the family member. Total children he got killed, 8. His wife escaped, she's still alive, but she got shot too. So those kind of situation that anybody can run into. If you're not careful, if you're not choosing who you want to live with and how you're going to handle a lot of stuff. And when you guys are living together, you guys can bring the best of both of you, because you guys are going to be in everybody's space, and you will know what button to push to get that man or get that lady mad, or what button not to push, how long you can push and how long you can lay back. So you will learn about those stuff. So when you marry that person, you already know about each other that much. You guys have in common what you guys cannot tolerate, and if you guys are gonna break tomorrow, what is going to break you guys. So you gotta put all that stuff, you learn about everything, and then so that when you marry, you gotta be happy. That's the only way. So if Gracie have something to add, she can add.
Not really. I think I just really asked the question, so I feel like maybe, or some people my age probably has, or would be scared to ask their parents, or he doesn't really talk about these topics, about just having a overall different perspective of what's going on and how this process is and what to look out for and what to look at, things of that nature. But I would say personally, be in a relationship with somebody who chooses you as well every day and shows up for you and encourages you and doesn't isolate you or force you to do things like that necessarily you don't want to do. Not necessarily even have to be in a bad way, just small things. They have to love you for the person that you are, and because you love that person as well, you're gonna also want to do better for that person. Maybe change small little things here and there.
I guess.
But I don't think you should ever change your whole entire personality for anybody. If that's who you are, obviously, if you have some character development to do, that's something that you're gonna have to learn throughout the life, and life is gonna teach you. But other than that, when it comes to personality, and if you're charismatic, you like to talk to people, or if you're introverted or whatever it is, they're gonna have to love you for the person that you are. And just, if they're a person that will stick up for you even with nobody there, are they gonna do that? And their family as well. I feel like the family part is really important as well, and see where they coming from, how basically the person that you're about to live the rest of your life with was raised. If they were around their family or their mom, their dad, their grandparents, just kind of get holistic, because that, what is it called, the second part of the person, it's like you're dating that person, but everybody else makes up that person as well, because they all had almost like turn raising you, or they all had their hand on you growing up and becoming the person that you are. So you are a reflection of everybody else in the family, but not, obviously, how can I say, not everybody, because I know that some people in the family, they take things differently, or they were raised differently and they go through different paths and things of that nature. But overall, you'll know, oh, in this family, maybe if somebody is struggling with addiction, that's something that we would probably talk about to our future kids. Oh, you're maybe, no, don't do that because one of your uncles or experienced something like that, or just different,
Yeah.
I guess.
So when you're married, you're gonna marry your loved one. You're gonna marry the whole family, because it's not just gonna be you and him or you and her. The family is included. So you really have to love that family. You have to know about it so you can be comfortable. What I said, if you in love with somebody, before you guys go deep, bring it to the family. Bring it. So when I look at the person and I talk to them, I will realize what kind of person he is. Your mom will know. I know the husband, sometimes our husband, they don't pay attention to the detail, but trust me, your mama will know what kind of person that was. And they will tell you before you guys go deeper, so you guys cannot continue. Or if I like the person, I will like, you know what, he is from the good family, you guys continue. And if God bless you guys to be together, I will bless that union. And that's the good thing. Don't wait until 3 years later and you are like, oh, that, and you guys already went far away. You are mute to whatever he's doing wrong to you, and you're thinking that's the only way is going to be, and then it's not very easy for you to get out from that relationship because you guys already went deep, and then that put a lot of people in trouble. It put you in the spot that you can hate your family because you don't want to hear what they have to say, even if they see something wrong. And it's going to be very hard for this boy if he really loves you, because you condone whatever he been doing to you wrong, and you've been taking it for a long time. He know that he's going to find, it's not going to be easy for him to find somebody to abuse the way he's doing it to you. So this is confusing. So that's the reason why sometimes kill somebody, because they love that lady so much, but the way he raised is not going to help him to be with that person, if that makes sense. The behavior, your control, you don't like the family. Oh, where did you go? All that kind of stuff. If you guys stay for 3 years, to break that relationship, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard, and sometimes people lose their life due to that. So if you love somebody, if you still young girl that you want to be in love with somebody like that, bring it to the family and go to his family too. So you will know how they're behaving in their own home, and you're going to bring it to me because I want to learn about him. I'm going to ask him questions. I'm going to joke with him. I'm going to do all that stuff so I can bring his little personality that is going to make me comfortable that my daughter with somebody, I'm not going to be sad or I'm going to be scared every night. Is it my daughter is okay? Because you are the mom. If the person is not a good person, you will feel like, oh my God, I'm just going to pray for my daughter. I hope she's okay and everything. But when you are comfortable with whoever your daughter dating, trust me, you will sleep. You don't have to think about, oh, one day I will lose my daughter to anything. One day I will hear something that happen. And then somebody like that, your daughter is not going to tell you so much because she want to keep the relationship. But the relationship is not good. And she's scared to tell ya because the relationship is already 3 years. Because like she said earlier, until you stay with somebody, you will not gonna know that person until you bring all the stuff out of him or out of her. You're really not gonna know.
And I feel like another thing is like that I think is like people don't realize also living with somebody also brings in the financial aspect of things a lot more, and I feel like that is sometimes what breaks or
A
like,
lot of homes.
a lot of homes. And if one person is better with money than the other person, or one person is taking care of most things and the other person, you guys have to talk about that. You have to know those things for sure before.
I tell my daughter, before you get married, you already know who you married. You guys had to talk about everything. If you guys had to sign the paper, man, if me, I had to go back, there is a stuff that I will tell my husband, you got to sign here. You got to sign that. You're going to help me in the kitchen. You're going to help me with the kid. You're going to help me this and that. And we women, we do a lot. You can go to work and work 8 hours. You can come and cook. You can look at the kid if the homework is done or it's not. You can do all that. But the men, they only can do one thing, and they don't want to hear any nonsense from anybody anymore. And it's not fair at all. So that's the reason why when you marry somebody, you want to make sure you can deal with everything that you guys talk about.
And I feel like sometimes men think that they can be a provider, but whenever they're in a position where they actually have to provide, it's they almost like they're being used in a way sometimes.
I just want to say to that, yes, God has said that even in the Bible, the man is supposed to be a provider.
Yeah.
Yes. But in this life, in this world that we're living in, it's very hard for the man to be a provider. What does the provider mean? Back home, we will make, you can have a restaurant, you can do that as a woman, but your husband, he will bring the money and he will pay the bill and he will give you upkeep for your wife. They will give you that. This is called masarif in Arabic, but in American they say upkeep. So that's like every month, they don't have to worry about your money, basically. He just do whatever he's supposed to do. But here in this country here, it's very hard. And even if you find somebody who are capable, just be aware there is a stuff is going to be lashing out here and there. And for example, somebody who provide everything, 65%, they will see that you're not doing enough in the house. You're not taking care of him enough. You're not doing this enough because he bringing enough money. So if they cheat and you talk to them about that, you guys can be fighting. And you guys can break this family apart. Why? Because he think that because he bring all the money in the house, therefore you're not supposed to have anything to say about everything that he say he's doing wrong. You do not have time to correct him. You do not have no business to correct him. And I see it a lot. The family of the man, they can support the man because he providing for this family and providing for his family. You guys focus on this. They can provide for his family and they can for his father family and they can provide for his family. So even though if you want to fight as a wife, those family, they're going to come over there like a fire in your head. Why? Because he's taking care of his business. So whatever he's doing out there, cheating, going with the other girl to the restaurant and leave you here with the children, you have to do everything, and happen a lot to our South Sudanese people. You're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that. You cannot talk because he paid the bills and he helped his family back home or whatever they are. Therefore, you don't have no voice. That's the reason why it's good always to put 50 sometime. And otherwise, if he capable to do anything, put your money somewhere for the rainy day. Because guess what? If he lose the job and he can provide for his family, he can provide for you, he's going to be like a mad dog.
I would say personally experiencing living with EK, he knows I'm in school and I don't really work that much, so he never really make me pay anything. But I do pay for groceries, and just so he doesn't have to pay for everything. And then maybe sometimes when we go out, I'll pay for the dinner if I have extra money, or if maybe I'll save a little money here and there, maybe we can take a trip. But that's the only other way I feel like I can contribute and to make him
like a man.
He's providing for me with everything else. And the small things I can do, he's really happy with it.
Because some men, they really can provide. And they know that this is the way that they're supposed to be respected. If you want to be the king in your own home, you should be able to provide. You should be able to respect your wife. You should be able to treat her like a queen. That's the only way. Because it said happy wife is happy home. If you make your wife angry all the time, trust me, this house, when you get in there, it's like a fire is already in it. You can say anything, every little thing, it will make it justify it. So
I feel like for men, maybe when a man feels like they know that they want to marry a woman, it's whether or not if they want or they feel happy to provide everything. They want to
Yeah.
fund your whole life.
Everything,
They
yeah.
want to do better so that they can have you just be peaceful. You know what I mean?
but sometimes that can be a challenge.
Yeah.
Because due to your skill, what kind of skill you have, what kind of job you have, it will determine if you can provide everything. But do not feel guilty when you cannot. And do not feel guilty when you really need your wife help. Just go ahead and tell her that, honey, we've been going through here and there. I really want to make you happy, but I think I'm not there yet. If you can help me with this and that, that would be good. This is the good way. But it's good communication, but don't assume that I am a wife, I'm supposed to pay your rent, I'm supposed to provide for your kid, and I'm supposed to do all that as a woman. And then at the end of the day, say, you're my, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't help the relationship to grow better. And you're going to lose your place as a man. But then we have this a lot in our Sudanese community. When the kid going to you, I don't have it. But when you go outside there, you want to go with different people. So let me bring this up. I have a lot of people that I know. They left the wife. Then they're going to go marry somebody with 6 or 7 kids, or married 7 times or 6 times or 3 times. What does that make you? What does that help you in the life in anyhow? You still going in the house of somebody with the children, somebody married 3 or 4 times before, but you accept to marry that person, and instead of fixing your home and be with your children in the house. And then some of them, they forget that they have kids here. They're taking care of those kids. That lady, the one they find. That's really something pissed me off, and I don't understand how the man can do stuff like that. How you gonna forget the children that you have and then go raise another man's children? How you gonna leave the beautiful wife that you marry, and then you're gonna leave her and then marry somebody who are married 4 or 5 times? That happened in our community. I am just amazed. I need somebody to answer me, please, because this thing, when I sleep, it make me not to function very good. Because why I'm saying that, our children, the ones suffering. The ones suffer with all this mixed everything. My dad went and met with somebody who married 4 times, and he just married my mom 1. He cannot fix my mom. Whatever that going through, they cannot fix it. But they're gonna go fix somebody else who have maybe 5 kids, just like the way our number. Those kids, they're asking those kind of questions, guys. They do asking questions. And there is nothing wrong for the family to fix each other. I know sometimes it's very tough, because when we say bad thing to each other, there is a very hard to sit down and talk about it. Because when you say something that very tough and very harsh, and you don't know how to say, I'm sorry, you don't know how to apologize, and some people, they run from here and they spread the word everywhere, and then for them to come back and say, you know what, I'm wrong for doing that, they were not going to do that. So those kind of mixed messages and mixed emotion, it mess up our kids a lot. So that's the reason why sometimes our daughters, they don't know who to choose if we don't tell them what kind of relationship they're looking for. You know why? Because
and be honest too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes some parents don't like to talk about what they go through with their kids, which is like, I understand, but when you're older, like me, I feel like it's a different perspective that I would want to see and hear, because it's almost like if someone were to be in a really bad marriage, you grew up with them, and then
That's the point that I
you're
wanna
like,
get into.
oh, how I don't know if I can take your advice because you're not even in a good relationship yourself. But if you're real and you tell me,
you have to tell the story,
Well,
how
then
you
it's
guys
like-
are separate and what it make you to make that decision. Let the kid understand, so they can make a good decision, so they don't have to make the same mistake. If they see that sign that you tell them, and they will realize, ooh, my mama tell me 1, 2, 3, so I have to watch this very closely. But when you are a father, the father always, the girl look up to you. Let me tell you guys this. Every girl in the world looking after the father. But if you a father, you left us here and go marry another lady who have, for example, my mom have 5 children or 3 children or 4 children, and then you're gonna go marry somebody with 6 children or 5 children. What if I'm a child? What I'm gonna think about you as the father? What kind of advice you going to give it to me? What kind of man I have to look for? What the bad sign in the man I have to look for? When you don't have any example, the good one in your own, there is no way you can advise any of your daughter that, oh, you should marry the good man, you should marry, because look at yourself before you look at somebody. And then I have another question for the ladies. When you marry somebody who already have children, how would that make you okay? That man have to cut the children off, and then he have to deal with you and your kid. How? So you take the father from the children to take care of your own, and then let him leave the kid not to take care of their own? Because that's happening a lot. It happened a lot in my community. And then you want those kids to respect you as a father. How? You need those kids to come to you and tell you everything. How? I'm an older, I am a mom, but for me, I don't know how. I don't know about Grace, how she feel. I need Grace to give me a little talk.
I would say I don't understand it either. I don't understand how either side, women or men, could do something like that. Especially, I feel like for women, it's also very much, we're supposed to care a lot more, and especially when there's children involved. I couldn't see myself being with somebody who abandoned their kids for me. I would never want that in my life. Seriously. But I don't know, as a woman, how I would feel. I would not think that that man is a good person. If he can't combine all of our families together and we can't coexist together and be in that way, then there's no point of me being with the person like that. And personally, I would never be with nobody with so many kids like that, and I already have kids.
So here I was thinking, if you want to separate with your wife or you want to get a divorce, put your children down. Sit in one place and talk to those kids. Guys, we love you guys very much, and we have disagreement with your mom. We're going to be separate, but whatever our life will take us, we always have to bring this family together so that we can grow as a family. And the other person who you married, they have to accept your kids. They have to accept your kid. You have to bring her into your kid, talk to them, sit down and talk about everything before you go and propose to the marriages or do a wedding without telling your kids that you're going to be married to somebody. You're going to bring that person. You got to know the feeling. I'm going to marry that auntie. What do you guys think? What do you guys feel? You think we're going to be still as a family? Do we guys have anything that I have to worry about? What do you think I'm supposed to approach this? Ask your children so that you will have the good time with the lady that you're married. Otherwise, you're going to be dragging this to that and that to this, and the relationship is not going to be there. The kid's the one that's going to be suffer either way or other.
I remember a while ago, I went on a date with somebody, and it was a good first date, and then I went on a date with him probably 2 or 3 other times, and then on the 3rd date he had told me that he had a kid, but he was young like me, and
maybe at the
young age. And that was honestly the last time I ever talked to him, because I was young at an age, I didn't want to be responsible for any other kid at that time. And then also I thought it was kind of weird that he waited to tell me. That should be the most prized possession,
the first thing,
and the most something that you should tell people, because you shouldn't be ashamed of your kid. If someone's gonna accept you and accept your kid, that's perfect. But it was just not the time for me to think about being stepmom to anybody. And another thing was that when I did ask him about his kid, was with his mom in a different state. So that's also why I was
that's a red flag.
That's a red flag, because why are you
here and your daughter, your son, somewhere else?
Your kid is over there, and you're trying to. Doesn't really make sense. But I understand the whole wait period before you bring your kids into your relationship. If you need to tell them upfront.
You have to tell them, hey, I am in a relationship with this person, but I don't know what is gonna take us. But if it comes serious, Before you propose to that person, bring your kids down and talk to them and bring your wife that you divorced. Honey, I know that we divorced and I'm moving on with my life and I have this person. I'm going to bring her so the kid can know them and you're going to be here and we can talk about serious business. This is really a serious business. For you to separate from your wife or divorce your wife and you're not going to worry about those kids, what their life is going to bring up. That's the one it bring for us are breaking children because their heart is broken. They can go to a lot of stuff because they cannot think about, oh my gosh, one is my daddy and he married my mom once and now he go and marry somebody who married 5 times. I am a grown up and this thing is confusing me. Imagine if you're young generation like my daughter. Of course she's not gonna accept to be a stepmom for any child because it's not easy to raise any child. It's not that easy. It's not easy. So it's just for you to be in peace, you have to wait until you make your own. If there are other children they're gonna come later on, that will be something that you will accept it. But at least you have your own, you know how this process go. But don't bring the first process raising somebody's child and you don't even have any. That it doesn't gonna make any sense.
Yeah, I personally feel like that's something that a lot of people like. I don't understand why they do it, but they do it. I can understand you being in love with somebody, but if you've never had kids before, what makes you think you'll know what to do? And it's different. Like I feel like you don't necessarily. Obviously, you have good judgment. Maybe you know how to teach people. Maybe, but it's a whole different world. I feel like becoming somebody's mom that already has a mom. You have to deal with the kid probably not liking you, not wanting to be around you. Maybe it's gonna take some time for warming up to you. You have to come out your pocket and treat them like your actual kid. Like that's the thing that you're committing to, is actually taking care of these kids. And it's like that's your boyfriend's kids or your
Husband.
but you are the person also responsible if you're in the relationship with that person.
And there is a nobody raised by stepmom, the first stepmom, that it doesn't have kid, and that relationship went very good. It's maybe maybe 3%, but it's not gonna be higher than that because that boy or daughter have anger that you come between her mom and his dad, and you mess up his life. That's the reality. They will feel that anger that you, even though you're innocent, even though the man come to you, they will think she come and mess up our relationship. She injected herself here so that I had to deal with her and I had to deal with my dad and I had to deal with my mom. So nobody win in this situation. That child when he grow up, he have to choose or she have to choose to be a good or she can exit it the wrong way. And it will be easy. Why? Because the confusion is real. It's real. If you don't have a kid, that's something different. Whatever it happened, it happened. You don't have kid with the person that you left. It's for, God knows what is the reason, but it's okay. But when you have kid involved, and you're not even gonna ask if you're a woman, me and you were gonna be married. Do we have a plan to take care of those kids? Do we have the plan to love them the way we're gonna love the other one? Do we have a plan that you told me your wife is not good? Do you have a plan that you're going to show me you have to be a good father to those kids that you left behind? Do you have a plan? You have to talk it out so you can be comfortable. So this is just a full of advice today. This is our advice today for whoever want to get married one day. We would love our children to get married, but we would love our children to be in the happy family and happy marriage. That's the reason why I thank Noella Morgan for asking that kind of question and bring a lot of stuff out that maybe we did not address it better last time. So if you guys have any question for our videos or you need us to answer any more question about this, please inbox us. I'm going to give the mic to Grace. Let her say something.
I think overall, it was a really good topic, and I hope that maybe you found some new perspectives and different things to think about or talk about with your daughter or your son. But I appreciate everybody for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and watch the full video. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
So until next time.
Bye.
Bye. I had to do a lot of cutting out.